time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your host, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
What is going on, everybody? Lee Sanders with you guys for an all-new edition of the RCWR show, coming at you for this beautiful Monday night of June 16th, 2025. How the hell y'all been? I hope y'all had a fantastic weekend. Of course, if you're over here in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., a good majority of you all did not have a good weekend. I got to mention DC because we are from right here in DC, and yeah, a lot of people wasn't feeling this weekend. You know, I mean, look, it was the celebration of our military, and love and great respect to all of those who have served, currently served, those who made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can appreciate what we have and everything, because there's those of us that just could not rise to that occasion. Whether you want to call it scared or no, I'll help out in other ways, whatever the respected reason is, right? But then you had others that was like, wait a minute, this dude celebrating, oh, it's his birthday and he's trying, this comes off a little dictatorish. I don't really know if I want. So it was a little bit crazy over here in the nation's capital. Of course, a decent amount of people was like, wait a minute, DC? And I know my black behind was one of those people that said, no, I'm not traveling into DC. I don't need the headache this weekend. And as we speak, they are still, at this very hour, slowly getting rid of all the beam structures, everything that was used for the weekend's parade. I don't think it's finally going to be normal again until we get to maybe Wednesday. I'm thinking Wednesday is when things will finally really settle down. I know a lot of streets near the Capitol, definitely going towards certain parts of 14th Street. I believe the Arlington Bridge was affected as well. All of that is slowly starting to open up, but I don't think things are really going to start to get back to normal until Wednesday, give or take. So hope y'all been great. I have been fantastic. I cannot complain whatsoever. I've got about 16 days to go with my nutrition science class, health class. And then that's it. I get my associate's degree, and then I get to chill for the rest of the summer until I load up for transferring to my 4-year university in the fall. So I'm pretty stoked for that. I got a big exam that's going to be coming up this week. So keep your fingers crossed for your man. So we've got a new format that we're doing. Basically, we're going to be doing 2 shows a week. The Monday shows is going to be very condensed. All we're going to be doing is talking exclusively about Raw, unless there's some breaking wrestling news, something just major, maybe entertainment-wise that's breaking that maybe we need to also include in the Monday shows. We'll do that as well. But going forward, I haven't quite figured out if it's going to be on Wednesday or Thursdays, but there's definitely going to be a bonus show that we're going to be doing that's going to go more all over the place. I know you guys are traditionally used to that, but trust me, you're going to appreciate those midweek shows that we do following up on this, because that will be, from a production value standpoint, it will be banging. And I'm not just saying that. You're going to like a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing. Come on. Let me know what you thought about tonight's WWE Raw. Of course, we got to kick things off with some breaking news, unfortunate news, too. Liv Morgan is injured. Homegirl has apparently by Michael Cole in the game, as they had revealed a couple of segments after they came back from a commercial break and they were able to obtain more information. Liv Morgan, unfortunately, it looks like she has a dislocated shoulder, and it was just nasty, freakishly nasty how it all had transpired because she has this match with Kairi Sane, and the match wasn't even what, for those of you that watched, this match wasn't even 15 to 20 seconds in, and just the weirdest thing happened. We see Kairi Sane, she and Liv Morgan, they're charging at one another. Kairi goes low under the legs to set up very nicely, and I've seen the move many times over the decades done, and Kairi Sane did not do anything wrong, and I don't appreciate seeing a lot of the hate that's being put out there by some fans. I've even started to see a few comments from those that's wishing death on Kairi Sane, and like, first of all, it's not that extreme, it's not that serious. Freakish accidents will happen. I have seen that leg corkscrew done so many times in the decades long that I've been watching wrestling. And what Kairi Sane did tonight, the way she executed that leg corkscrew, chef's kiss. It was perfect. I'm looking at Liv Morgan and the way she was selling the move. I mean, it was just freakish what happened because they showed us what went down. And I didn't think they were going to do the replay, but after they came back from an abrupt commercial break, they showed it to us in slow motion, and it was Liv Morgan's right arm. It looked like as she was falling, she was trying to do like she normally, what anybody would do that gets that leg corkscrew, right? And you're trying to trip somebody up, and you gotta sell the motion like, oh my God, they got me so good, I gotta fall on my face. Liv Morgan, I think I watched it a couple of times, and we're gonna get into it more on the midweek show because I definitely want to show the footage. We will show the footage here tonight, but one of the main issues that I have an issue with in showing the footage tonight, it's got audio in there, and I don't want us to get any legal trouble from WWE because you know how sensitive they are and everything. But the midweek show, we're definitely gonna go to that footage. We're gonna circle the areas, all that, and keep this in mind for those of you that have not seen the footage yet, but you will be checking it out and have it in the back of your mind when you join me later in the week. And that is the fact that if there's any, Liv should have done that a little better. You could make an argument she should have had her arms more extended. That's the thing. She should have had her arms a little bit more extended. That way, when she does land hands first onto the canvas, she can maybe very quickly kind of boost herself up so that she can kind of sell the fact that, oh, I hit my face. You understand what I'm saying? It could almost be a quick boom, boom, right? So she does that first one to catch her fall, but then does the second one where she can whip her head back to make it seem as though she hit her face on the canvas. Or if the arms are extended just right as you're falling, you can do it in that one initial fall and then jerk your head back at the same time. But she did not have any extension that was going on between her forearms and elbows to just kind of give herself that little bit of a lift that she needs. And it was freakish to watch it in real time, but even more WTF when you watched it in slow motion the second time, as you see that she hits her elbow first, that right elbow. She hits that bad boy first onto the canvas. And I mean, it wasn't just one of those, ow, you know that song, ow. No, it wasn't one of those. It was one of those when you watched it, not only did you see her elbow shift, but you see, and I apologize to our audio listeners because I'm literally throwing my arm up here and everything, but the elbow, not only did it shift, but you saw this tremendous vibration that shot up through her bicep and definitely went into the beginning of her shoulder. Very, very freakish. What had went down there. Kairi Sane. I mean, if I'm gonna be a dick towards Carly Sane on anything, I know Carly Sane couldn't immediately go over to Liv Morgan and see what's going on with her, but I didn't quite enjoy the fact that Carly Sane was just in the corner and she's just yeah, let me at her, yeah. I didn't exactly enjoy that, but I understand it's live. Anything can and will happen, and you pretty much just gotta. Because some of you that just heard me say that, you're likely going, well, "What the hell was she supposed to do, Lee? What exactly?" And no, she. I wish she could have done a little bit more, but somebody had the perfect gift that they posted. They basically said Kari Sane was acting like John Cena, just continuously bouncing off of the ropes while they're trying to figure out what's going on with this injured opponent over here. But it was very, very freakish and everything. Please, folks, those of you that's wishing death and worse on Kari Sane, get some help because mentally you guys are just not. Whoa, my door just opened. What's going on here? Oh, okay. I got my furry little doors. I'm looking at the health monitor and I'm seeing what's being played back to you guys, and I just see out the corner of my eye the door opens and it's like some weird poltergeist crap going on. And like, no, it's my furry little daughters coming in here. They're deciding they want to keep me company. So hopefully we will know more information about what's going on there with Liv Morgan as far as the recovery time. For those of you that's like, oh, it's got to be a story arc. It's got to. Yeah, I wish I could be here tonight and say to you guys, but no, we aren't being worked whatsoever. And, tough break for Liv Morgan. It really, really is because especially given the fact that she is just on a roll right now at this stage in her WWE career. And also given the fact that more doors in Hollywood is starting to open up for her. We were just here a couple of weeks ago going over the fact that she was off filming a movie. And remember the prediction that I had gave several weeks back where we didn't even know exactly what Liv Morgan was filming. And I said to you guys, she's now at a point in her career where I feel, as far as serious roles, taking on dramatic roles, she can do it now. And that if I was her agent, remember that? Those of you that were with me several weeks back, I had said that. And then sure enough, about 2 weeks later, we all learned that the movie that she had recently went off to film for her respective parts, it's a serious role. And it's like, oh, okay, bet. So, and she got done filming those parts. That's why we had saw her back, not that long ago. So the timing of this, it's bad. It's definitely bad. Again, it's a dislocated right shoulder. As far as the ETA, we'll just have to wait and see what's going on. Because, I mean, it could be rehabbing and maybe she's going to be in the sling for a couple of weeks. That's like the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, some type of surgery is maybe going to need to be done. And as a result of that, we may not see her until the end of the year. So it's very early. I hate speculating like that, but definitely a speedy recovery to her, especially given the fact that the timing of this definitely bad, considering the fact that not only was she trying to, in storyline, she's sliding herself back in there, trying to get back her women's championship from Io Sky, but then also she still is having these inner workings, if you will, to a certain degree with Rhea Ripley. But then she's also juggling Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne Perez trying to get in her place, right? Trying to earn her keep in the Judgment Day. Liv looking at Roxanne as a serious threat and everything. So the timing of this, it sucks. It really, really sucks. I find it kind of convenient that all of this is going down as Carlito is basically being shown the door, essentially. And I don't know, man, with Liv Morgan being up out of there, if I was WWE, if I could bend somebody's ear in WWE, I'm going, look, you know what? Maybe we can keep Carlito just a little bit longer. Maybe we could see if he could do some type of an extension because I got to tell you. So now we're without Carlito, and now yet again we're going to be without Liv Morgan. So that leaves Balor, Dom, JD, Roxanne Perez. Oh, and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know. I don't know exactly. We got an idea how things were when Liv was out of the picture, and it seemed to balance out okay. I personally feel, but if there was ever a time for WWE to go, okay, we need to add maybe some new blood to Judgment Day. Who could we maybe go and recruit? All right. It's kind of one of those type of areas I kind of feel. I mean, I think they'll be okay in the short term, but it really depends on the diagnosis for Liv Morgan, doesn't it? Because if it's a situation where best case scenario is again, she's just going to have to push a sling, then she can just work in front of the camera and just go, 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 go. I mean, that'd be easy, right? She can easily do that. But if she's got to go away and get some surgery, then. But Roxanne Perez, right time, right place as far as her call up and everything. She has been seizing the moments. I loved how she has been adapting on the main roster. She's doing good in her respected role. I love the little twisting in the back with that dagger that we had going on this week, because right before everything had went down with Liv Morgan and that horrific injury there, we saw Liv giving a bit of a pep talk to Raquel, letting her know, yo, go out there, handle your business tonight in your match. I'm going to be rooting you on. Go out there, get it done. As Raquel Rodriguez was involved in that fatal four-way battle in the Queen of the Ring first round, continuation from what we had got from last week. Raquel Rodriguez in action against Stephanie Vaquer, Ivy Nile. Let's not also forget the returning Asuka. We had not seen the four-time women's champion in about over a year. Oh, how I missed me some Asuka. Asuka coming back looking better than ever. Just how I last remember her. She actually looked a little bit slimmer and toned up. Not that there was anything wrong with semi-thick Asuka. Lee got nothing but love for the big girls now. Come on, you know that right by now. You know your man by now. But no, it was legit. Happy to see Asuka again. I know in the previous months she's been dealing with her fair share of stalkers. Just crazy what's going on with the stalkers. Who's the latest WWE girl that was getting stalked there? I think it was Roxanne Perez, wasn't it? Some sicko with this weird crap on social media. Is Roxanne Perez dead yet? No, but she will be in 6 days or some weird crap like that. I've yet to hear any more follow-ups about that. Like, did they find the guy? Did they arrest him? Like, I haven't heard a peep since. All we knew is that from Adam Pearce, the situation has been taken care of, and that pretty much was it. That's all we do. But shout out to Roxanne Perez. Nobody, well, male, female, queer, binary, like just human being in general should not be going through that weird crap. And for that individual that did what they did, I really hope incarceration is not the answer. Mental health, getting what they need as far as the resources and get them out of that. You know, if they need medication, whatever they need, that's what needs to happen to that individual. But nice, solid, strong opener to the beginning of Monday Night Raw with the Queen of the Ring first round fatal four-way there between Stephanie Vaquer, Asuka, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez. I got to say, nice touch on WWE's part and letting us see Stephanie Vaquer and Asuka locking it up a couple of times. That is definitely a future dream match waiting to happen. Whether or not you want to do that at a SummerSlam or you want to do that at a WrestleMania, or hell, you want that to be maybe one of your Evolution main events. We do have that right around the corner. I am definitely down for that. Asuka looked like she has not missed a step whatsoever. So happy to see her back. But no, Asuka and Stephanie Vaquer gelled extremely well with one another. There's even a brief little moment there where Asuka and Ivy Now locked it up for a hot little bit. I enjoyed that. Stephanie Vaquer and Ivy Now, that was actually pretty good as well. Raquel seemed to be finding her footing in there. She served her role well for what it was worth. Towards the end of the match, seeing as though Raquel was going to have this one in the books, she went in for the cover, then gets yanked out of the ring. I believe the person that she laid out was Asuka. Yeah, she laid out Asuka, went in for the cover, but then by the leg, Raquel gets dragged out. Like, who is that? None other than Rhea Ripley. We know how they've been pretty much going at it off and on the past couple of weeks. So they were slugging it out and everything. Rhea Ripley hitting Riptide on Raquel, laying her out flat on her back, pretty much knocking the wind out of her. Asuka, meanwhile, she hits the rear view. Trying to think who she hit the rear view on. I can't remember if she hit the rear view on Ivy Now or if she hit the rear view on Stephanie Vaquer. I'm hoping she hit it on Ivy Now. Ivy, because if anybody needs to eat it should have been Ivy Now. But Asuka picking up the W. I mean, look, I'm okay with that when it's all said and done. I mean, we ain't seen Asuka in a year. All right. 4-time women's champion. Okay. I kind of feel as though from a marketing standpoint, especially with Evolution right around the corner, I really feel as though the way that Asuka is pretty much being positioned, you see where I'm going? I'm thinking short term, not so much long term. I'm just thinking more about short term, and this is pretty much why Asuka had advanced and everything. Now, do I see Asuka winning the whole shebang bang boing boing? No, no. But as far as the finish goes to this first opener, no issues with it right whatsoever. I thought it was the right call for them to make, honestly. Um, but at the same time, I kind of feel as though, look, Stephanie Vaquer, let's just talk about her for a quick minute without being long-winded. I think we all can be in agreement when it comes to Stephanie Vaquer. By the way, we got like over 149 of you that's watching the stream live right now, whether you're doing it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or on Twitter. However you're tuning in right now, thank you all so much. And hit the hearts, the likes, all that. It helps a great ton, especially on the YouTube channel. Show that a lot of love. Helps gets more eyes on the content and everything. Let's talk about Stephanie Vaquer for a hot second. Stephanie Vaquer, love this woman. Love this woman. My God, man. This woman, she is freaking undeniable. Okay? Undeniable. But I just can't help but, man, Triple H, WWE, like what's going on here? And you got to give me credit if you've been checking out the show for the past couple of weeks. I'm being consistent here because my whole thing is, okay, look, we're trying to establish, we're trying to build stars. It's all about stars of tomorrow and everything. And you've got this woman that has done a phenomenal job down in NXT, crushed it, giving her these opportunities on the main roster, and she is crushing it every single time. And remember, we were just here on this show 2 weeks ago, give or take. And I told you all my biggest bone of contention with how Stephanie Vaquer was booked that whole weekend. She had 3 matches. Remember that? She went into SmackDown, did a match. Then she went into Worlds Collide. She did a match. Then she went into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and everything. And yeah, that's great that we had Naomi win and all that. But the way in which Naomi won, I just felt that it would have been that much more, if you would have somehow, Naomi got one over on Stephanie Vaquer. Like, I would have loved it had they kind of done something along those lines. Because it's like, okay, why are we continuing to build this person up? What is the big payoff here? What exactly, right? And so you just kind of felt that going into this week, that maybe there was going to be some type of okay, there's a payoff here. Now we're going to do something here for Stephanie Vaquer. Because if you looked at all of these names on the card and you said, well, no, Stephanie Vaquer, yeah, she's got this. She should definitely advance in this, no doubt. What better way to really get this woman over than by maybe having her possibly get a fast one over on the 4-time women's champion, Asuka. Asuka can afford to, or if you don't want it to be Asuka and you want it to be Ivy now, and then maybe have Asuka cross paths with Stephanie Vaquer and say, you got lucky. Had it been you and me one-on-one, okay, so you've got your seeds planted for these two girls to meet up down the line. Maybe that might happen at the Evolution pay-per-view. We'll see. But at least you could have done it that way. So if you were to say to me, Lee, I'm not really a fan of what's happening with Stephanie Vaquer, this almost feels a little bit like a waste of an appearance here for her, I can definitely meet you halfway on that. If you maybe wanted to say, look, maybe something should have happened to Stephanie Vaquer. Maybe somebody should have injured her in the back, and then as a result of that, Natty is inserted or Maxine Dupree is put in there. They've got a new t-shirt. They're now calling themselves the Dungeon Dolls. Design is actually looking pretty good. Creatively here, I'm not really feeling what's going on here with WWE, but yeah, that's it right there. Meanwhile, we opened up with the biggest piece of news, which was about Liv Morgan. Some other news to tackle here. Gunther coming out, boasting, gloating, the whole 9 yards over the fact that he is once again the World Heavyweight Champion. He gets his pyro and everything. All right. And he admits that Jey Uso was the better man at WrestleMania. If only for one night. Okay. But that every other night, as far as Gunther is concerned, he is untouchable. Yeah, Seth Rollins, he might have the money in the bank. And Gunther's like, look, I know that as far as Seth is concerned, I got something he wants. Yeah, sure, whatever. Fans are chanting Goldberg. Gunther gives into it, and he's like, yeah, I'm well aware of that name. I'm aware about the rumors. I don't care about any of that. I'm not focused on the past. I'm actually focused on the future, right? Well, good old Goldberg's music hits. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was at that moment that my heart sank. I'm not lying to you guys. I'm going, but I was right. Give me credit. I was right. We were just here on this show last week. Don't believe me? Go rewind it back and check it out. I said to you guys, look, as far as Bill Goldberg and Saudi Arabia, I'm not seeing that happening. Remember that. I said that to you guys. I also said to you guys, and the reason why, for those of you that like, why did you say? There was an interview that Bill Goldberg had recently gave where he was talking about how just the recovery time, the injuries that he's been facing while training, and he admitted that he's not quite where he wants to be. He also talked about how it's been a real bitch for him to put the respected amount of weight that he needs to put on for size, bulk and all that, while he's getting sick, at the same time. And it's understandable. He's a much older man. His metabolism, it happens to the best of us. Yeah, at one point we used to be able to eat, 4 grilled cheese sandwiches, 4 hot dogs, and we be coming out there, I'm skinny. Well, when you get to your 40s or 50s, it doesn't burn off as it used to, right? Still tasting same, but it doesn't quite burn off like it used to. Not to mention you're really clogging the hell out of those arteries with the bad fatty acids. Anyway, so I brought up that interview, and I said last week, I'm not picturing Bill Goldberg wrestling in Saudi Arabia. I just don't. I really feel that WWE 9 times out of 10, they probably have been in communication with him, trying to find out exactly where he is, how he's holding up and everything. And if they can't do Saudi Arabia 9 times out of 10, they're probably, remember what I said? It's coming back to you now. I said, maybe they'll do something. And I said, when is SummerSlam? Maybe they'll do something at SummerSlam. That way he has more than enough time that he needs to do what he needs to do. Well, weren't we in for a shocker tonight? 2 out of 3 ain't bad, so to speak. Goldberg comes out to celebrate Gunther winning the championship, letting him know he's going to let him enjoy his night tonight because he's basically earned it and everything. Goldberg very quick to point out to Gunther, yo, you started something a while back with me and my family in Atlanta. So you know what? It only serves right that in Atlanta, I let you know, coming up July 12th, you're next. All right. So that was a challenge issued there. July 12th, of course, is Saturday night's main event, and that's going to be happening in Atlanta, Georgia. So, yeah, that's what we get to look forward to. Now, is that going to be Bill Goldberg's final match? Your guess is as good as mine. I would like to believe that the WWE powers that be, they want to give Bill Goldberg the biggest, grandest, proper send-off if this is going to be his last ride, his last rodeo. I would imagine, no. You got SummerSlam right around the corner. Why not do something big and epic with Bill Goldberg at SummerSlam? Personally, and look, y'all know me. And when it came to the whole Bill Goldberg, Gunther, I told you guys straight up. I said, look, I appreciate Bill Goldberg's I hate to sound like a robotic, but like, no, legit. When I was growing up as a teenager, I freaking loved me some Bill Goldberg. Seriously, the streak, just all that. Bill Goldberg could do no wrong. When he finally came into the WWE, I ate up every single minute until they started getting a little bit comical and silly with the Goldberg character. Then it was like, what the hell are we doing? Like, seriously, what the hell are we doing here with Bill Goldberg? Then we started doing the stupid crap with him and Goldust, and I'm just going, come on, man. Like what the hell? All that rubbed me the wrong way, and I was actually happy when he exited WWE that last go and everything. When Bill Goldberg came back handful of years ago and he was running on a little bit of a part-time basis, some of the stuff was good. My main concern with Bill Goldberg, though, has been the consistency. And I know that the guy has a serious work ethic when it comes to getting in the gym and working out, and he's trying to get in ring ready and all that other stuff. Like, I appreciate that. I really, really do. But sometimes you got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. And, Bill Goldberg has dropped some duds in recent memory. So you got to forgive me if I'm looking at this upcoming match with Gunther, and at least for me, I'm going, I didn't ask for this. I'm not exactly thrilled for this. I don't particularly care for this matchup. So let me see if I got this straight. We traded Jey Uso, who is like one of your top merchandise pushers right now, okay,
every time this guy enters an arena or whatever, I mean, he got that whole arena. I ain't seen nothing that magical, that surreal of an experience, that powerful where the crowd is just right there. I ain't seen nothing like that since Bray Wyatt. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. I ain't seen nothing like that since Bray Wyatt, Wyatt family. I ain't seen nothing like that since Bray Wyatt as the Fiend. I ain't talking about when Bray Wyatt came back and, he was essentially a good guy and he was, let me be real with you. No. Okay, so we're trading Jey Uso and everything that he accomplished and everything, right? We're trading that in for Bill Goldberg, Gunther. Like I said to you guys, the only way this makes a lot of sense is if you're going to tell some type of a full. I don't see, but here's the thing: I don't even know at this point if the story that you're trying to tell is to somehow get Jey Uso back to the dance by WrestleMania. I don't even know if that's because it feels more like, okay, Jay, you've had your time in the sun. Now we're going to, because it feels more like a Sami Zayn is going to be sliding into that role now and everything. So, a very, I'd like to be listening to creative there and really get an understanding on what exactly the future holds there for Jey Uso going forward and everything. I'm very, very curious. But that's what we got to look forward to July 12th. Bill Goldberg, good old Bill Goldberg, and Gunther, main event, Saturday night's main event. Oh joy. I'm going to be looking more forward to Jesse the Body Ventura's commentary, especially during that particular matchup, than anything else. Meanwhile, elsewhere, AJ Styles taking on JD McDonough. AJ Styles picking up the win. On paper, you're going, a lot of potential. Weak. Very, very, very weak. But from a storyline continuity standpoint of AJ Styles trying to chase after the Intercontinental Champion that is Dominic Mysterio, okay, yeah, you know what, I'm all right. Post match, Finn Balor coming in to check in on Dom. AJ decides he wants to pose with the IC title, even ends up disappearing with the belt. Nick Aldis stepping in there for what's his name? Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce not available this week. Speaking of not available this week, no appearance by Pat McAfee. So once again, we got Corey Graves. Look, I got to be real with you, and I want to pick you all's brain. I want to know what's going on. What is up with Pat McAfee? It seems like the Pat McAfee from last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Is it just me, or is it starting to feel as though Pat McAfee is just going with the flow? Like he's just starting to phone it in. It's not the same. It's not the same kind of. It's not the same kind of child innocence mixed with enthusiasm, great enthusiasm and excitement that we are used to hearing of McAfee from previous years, is it not? I mean, it feels very different now. Now it kind of feels, it almost feels like, I hate to make this comparison. I really, really do. But without being long-winded, I remember when Precious, my second oldest Yorkie Terrier, I remember when she first came into this house last year. It was about the same time last year. And it was a couple of weeks after my Pekingese, Maggie, had passed away. And I remember when Precious first came in here, Precious was put on the sofa, and me and my wife, we were sitting on the other sofa, and we were kind of looking at Precious, and paying attention to how Holly and Chloe, our other terriers, were going to interact with her and everything. and Holly came around her. Holly was essentially, "Hey, who are you? How you doing? What's your story?" Chloe was a little bit more defensive. She didn't want to mingle. It was kind of like, "Nah, you're new blood. I don't really want to mess with you." But homie on Precious. Precious definitely came off, I would say, a little bit, not really scared, but kind of, I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm not really sure what to make. I'm a little bit, and then after about, I would say, an hour, Precious just start with Holly. "You want to play? Let's play. I'll chase you. Come on, let's go." When it came to eating, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to eat. Let's go. What's up?" And she still has that same enthusiasm and curiosity, and just all this time later, a year plus later. Pat McAfee's not quite the same guy that, maybe I'm off. Y'all can let me know. Y'all can let me know. Doesn't quite seem like the same Pat McAfee. I don't know if it's a case where maybe the workload is starting to get to him. And look, that is a serious workload. He's doing that show on ESPN. What is it? 4 times a week, or were they able to squeeze 5 out of him? Last I checked, it was 4 times a week, and that's like a 2.5, 3 hour show that he's basically doing. All right, and then depending on the time of the year, if he's got to do NFL coverage, and then he's got to do college football, right? And I think he has a kid now. It's either kid number 2 or it's still the first kid. I kind of lost track there. But, it's possible that he's in too many places, and maybe he's starting to get a little bit, I don't know. But I tell you what, Corey Graves, every single opportunity that Corey Graves has been given as of late, Corey Graves has been acting like, "Let me get my house in order, because I see what's going on with some of these people that's getting the exit here. Yeah, I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution." Corey Graves been really stepping his game up. That's all I'm saying. Corey Graves has keep doing what you're doing, Corey. I see you, brother. I see you. I love what I'm seeing. All right, so we talked about Liv Morgan and Kairi Sane already. Bayley. Bayley had came out. Love me some Bayley. "Nah, brother, we're good on the WhatsApp. We're good on the WhatsApp. I don't care about your WhatsApp." Somebody had tried to do a rush in there talking about some, "Yo, WhatsApp. It's my number." Well, that's good for you. Have a cookie. Have a cookie. We don't care about your WhatsApp. Anyway, Bayley. Lord, the internet. Bayley broke the damn internet last week with her return in that all nice, pretty white outfit. It's a nice day for white wedding. Okay. Woo. Lord have mercy. Got a hot flash just thinking about Bayley. Anyway, Bayley out this week. Bayley following up on beating down Becky Lynch. Bayley also gave into the fans, letting them know how much she appreciates them, how much she missed them and everything. She's happy to see them all again and everything. She also talks about how Becky Lynch, how soon we forget, Becky Lynch did rob Bayley of her WrestleMania opportunity when it was revealed Becky Lynch was the one that beat the crap out of Bayley backstage and everything. So far as Bayley's concerned, she got a receipt there that she need to cash in and all that. So demanded for Becky Lynch to come out. Becky Lynch greets her with the appearance and everything. Kind of convenient because Raw was in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Becky Lynch comes out wearing a Bears jacket. And you think about the Bears Green Bay rivalry, so you already know what Becky was trying to go for there. I loved it. It was a nice little touch. Becky, Bayley having a few words. Bayley pretty much telling her, "Yo, put your money where your mouth is. Won't you go ahead, step up to me, put that championship you got there that you just won on the line. Let's go." Becky not trying to have anything to do with it. We will find out later from Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is going to be granting Bayley an opportunity at a shot at Becky's championship. As far as when that match is going to be happening, it's going to go down next week on Raw. Again, it's going to be going down next week on Raw. Bayley, pretty ecstatic with the news, runs into Lyra Valkyria, though, after hearing that news. Lyra, hearing it, can't believe what she heard and everything, and she's not too pleased with the booking because she feels she still owed her rematch and everything. And yeah, not really good right there. Becky lets her know she's really sorry how things had played out. Wasn't her intent. Lyra also says, yeah, but yo, I hit you up, called you, tried emailing you the past several months. You ain't hit me back. What's up? Look, tell you right now, Lyra's likely going to pop up. Things are going to go sideways in that match. And we're likely going to have a triple threat match for that championship. So we'll see how that plays out. We already talked about Liv Morgan and Kairi Sane. So look, as a result of what happened with that Liv Morgan injury, for those of you that maybe are just tuning in, we did spend like the first 15 minutes almost talking about Liv Morgan and that injury and everything. So very unfortunate. But because of that match, we didn't get a 10-minute match there. That pretty much all went to the main event match, the King of the Ring. First round fatal four-way match. Sheamus versus Rusev versus Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso coming out as the winner. Nice little main event match. Went about... commercials wasn't really that long. It kind of seemed like it was almost a 15-minute match, give or take, of that one. Like the way that this went down, they kept Jey looking strong. I got no problem with Jey Uso winning in this. Honestly, this was the right way to go. It really, really was. I'm still kind of questioning, though, what's going on there with Rusev. I like what's happening with Rusev, where he's looking at certain people and he's going, you know what? It's my mission statement to just beat the holy crap out of you and get you back to good. I want to bring the best out of you. And I think the only way that can happen is if I have a match with you. So I like what's going on here with Rusev, but we got to put some serious backing behind that. You feel me? We got to put some, we got to start building up some momentum behind that, because if not, it continues to be hollow. And I'm looking at certain guys right now, Rusev, and it's okay, you're back, but what are we really doing with you here? Creatively. Feels pretty hollow right now. I'm looking at Aleister Black. My God. The stuff with Aleister Black, I mean, it's definitely hollow over there on the SmackDown side of things for Aleister Black. Unless I missed something and something's starting to heat up. I don't know nothing about it just yet. But yeah, we got to do something. We got to do something with those guys for sure. So for Jey Uso to go into this, win this, right call, right? Let this guy try to get back to good and everything. So as a result of Jey Uso advancing, we need to look at the updated brackets here for how everything is looking. And give me a second. Let me pull up these graphics so we can see how everything is looking. By the way, shout out to Cody Rhodes. They revealed that some screenshots. Cody Rhodes is in the new Naked Gun movie. I was like, yo, that is... I'm telling you, when I saw the trailer during the new Mission Impossible movie, same trailer that pretty much has been running around on social media, but it was so cool to be in the theater. And actually, my theater for Mission Impossible, it was full. Like, there was not an empty seat in the house. So it was nice seeing the Naked Gun trailer, and everybody popped big time. Some people weren't quite sure about the OJ thing. Like, they didn't quite understand. And I could hear some people kind of whispering and like delayed laugh afterwards, but some good funny stuff. All right, let's see where. Okay, here we are. So here is how things are looking right now. So we know that Sami Zayn has advanced. Sami Zayn is going to be taking on Randy Orton in the semifinals. I got that being Sami Zayn. If I'm not mistaken, we talked about this last week. Say, yo, let Sami get one over on a former World Heavyweight Champion there, Randy Orton. I believe, actually, you know what? I think I toyed with the idea, but I think I went with Carmelo Hayes and Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn going into the finals. I'm pretty sure that's what I had said, now that I think about it. Meanwhile, we know that Cody Rhodes... We know that Cody Rhodes, if I'm not mistaken, Cody Rhodes is going to be in action. Hang on here. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is going to be in action this coming Friday on SmackDown. Yeah, he's going to be in action. Yeah, he's going to be in action on this Friday SmackDown. I got Cody for sure winning that one. So it's going to be Cody and Jey Uso going at it in that respected semifinal. Cody and Jey Uso. Oof. Oof. That's all I gotta say. Oof. Oof. You got so much rich history there with Jey that it would make a little bit more sense to do Jey and Sami. Or you could do Cody and Sami. WWE's in a really interesting position right here, are they not? I mean, which way do you go? Which way do you go? Oh, man, that's a tricky one, fam. I think it's going to be Cody and Sami. I think it's going to be Cody and Sami. Maybe you do some type of weird shenanigan going on there with Jey Uso. Somehow try to figure out a way to screw him out of the opportunity, right? Kind of feels like you got to put some type of obstacle in his way, give or take. Meanwhile, over for the women's side, the way that's looking right now, so we know that, looking at this here, we know that, so you know, since Liv Morgan got injured, well, no, that was a one-on-one match, though. I'll come back. Sorry about that. I'm getting my stuff mixed up. Sorry about that, fam. All right, so we know that for the Raw side of the deal, we know that Asuka advanced. I don't know who advanced on the SmackDown side, or is SmackDown happening this coming week? Let me look at the current bracket here. Bear with me a second here. And let me type in King... Actually, I'll type in Queen of the Ring, and we'll figure out how that's going to look here. Queen of the Ring. And we'll do 2025 WWE. All right, so we got the Queen of the Ring. Let me look at the bracket here. All right, so let's see what we got here. So we know in the semifinals it's going to be Roxanne Perez taking on Jade Cargill. And then we got Alexa Bliss taking on Asuka. All right, so we know that's going on. And then who are we waiting for the women? Who are we waiting for? Is that it? It's a lock? Okay, gotcha. Okay, so the SmackDown semifinal is going to be on June 20th. And it looks like it's going to be Roxanne Perez, Jade Cargill, and then it'll continue on Monday Night Raw, June 23rd, where we'll have Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and the two respective winners of that one will face each other in the finals at Night of Champions on June 28th. Are you guys with me now? All right, so we all learned that together, so we all are good now. I'm going to go with, so now that we got an idea of the semifinal, I'm still gonna go with Jade Cargill. Just building up the whole Evolution pay-per-view event, all that good stuff. I'm still gonna go with Jade Cargill. Jade, and then between Alexa Bliss or Asuka. I'm gonna go with Asuka. I'm gonna go with Asuka, y'all. I think Asuka, Jay Cargill. I think that's gonna be your finals at Night of Champions. That should be a pretty good matchup. Let's see what you guys had to say about tonight's WWE Raw. Let's go to Twitter at the RCWR show. Let's see how you guys voted over there. All right, so I'm seeing 14% of you all saying you did not enjoy the show at all. Meanwhile, 29% of you felt it was an awesome show, while 57% of you said it was an average show. Appreciate you guys that voted via Twitter. Let's see what's going on with you guys via YouTube, youtube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the post section, vote that way, see what's going on here. All right. Early voting coming in. I'm seeing right now average show is taking the lead. I repeat, average show is taking the lead. Pretty solid show. Unfortunate what happened with the Liv Morgan injury. That really was a Debbie Downer. I would have to say, because just time was going by so quick. Vibes were pretty good. Then you get to the Liv Morgan injury, and you're going, "Whoa, the hell is going on here?" And you just think about the seeds that was planted there for the Liv Morgan, Nikki Bella match at Evolution, and if Homegirl is not able to compete, which I doubt. I don't think she's going to be able to. I don't. Come on, it's a dislocated shoulder. So they're now going to have to essentially pull an audible and go in a different direction. I think honestly, I think they should go on ahead and let Roxanne Perez slide into that position and let her take on Nikki Bella. I can see Roxanne Perez really stepping up with this current Roxanne Perez. If it was the Roxanne Perez that we were first introduced to from NXT and all that first incarnation, I'd be like, yeah, no, like nowhere near ready. But this current version of Roxanne Perez that's running around, I think she is more than capable. She's a former NXT Women's Champion in her own right. And if you want to do something where you're starting to build Roxanne Perez up to really make her be a... Uh-oh. Chloe, you all right? What you doing? You all right? Okay. What are you doing? You looking for... You trying to... Oh, okay. I'm thinking my damn dog is getting ready to puke. No, she's just scratching the carpet trying to get comfortable. Anyway, if you're gonna go with Roxanne Perez, I think the sooner that you start building her up to feed her ultimately to Nikki Bella, the better. The better, I say. If you did not want to go in a direction of Roxanne Perez, maybe somebody else you kind of wanted to. I'm just thinking about the rest of the roster, thinking about who else could easily slide in there. Some people might go, well, what about Raquel? No. That's a hell no. That's a hell to no. I love Raquel, but that's a no. Yeah, you really, because I know some people will be like, well, what about Stephanie Vaquer? What about, no. Understand something. Whoever Nikki Bella faces at Evolution is doing the deed. Nikki's going to win that. Nikki's going to win. There ain't no way they're going to let Nikki walk out of there first match back in a good minute and let her lose. No. No, no, no. So y'all that's going, well, let her, let Stephanie Vaquer. No, no, it ain't gonna be Stephanie Vaquer. If you maybe want, yeah, I think it's gonna be Roxanne Perez. I'm not really picturing anybody else that can, but that's your pivot. That's your pivot. You're gonna have to go in that direction. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go in a special attraction type of match. And what I mean by that is, if you're not gonna go with Roxanne Perez, then you really are going to have to open this up, and maybe you pull an audible where somebody from NXT just freaking lays out Nikki Bella to try to make a name for themselves. So whether that be a Lash Legend or that be a Jada Parker, my personal pick, and then you can, somehow, okay, so Jada, Nikki Bella, them two, and Jada has proven a lot to us within recent months. So I think if there is anybody that could step up to the plate, right, and keeping in mind you're basically going to be feeding them to Nikki Bella and all that, Jada Parker would definitely be my pick to, okay, well, let's have her slide in there and take on Nikki Bella. Why not? So WWE's got some serious thinking to do, though. They got some serious thinking to do, but definitely speedy recovery there to our girl Liv Morgan. Really, really hoping that the hell with coming back to the ring. It's more about speedy recovery, because that, and we'll get into it more on the show, the next show, which is either going to be Wednesday or Thursday. We'll get into it more on there, but man, just freakish what had happened. All right, so meanwhile, I was dipping my head into a little bit of some of the stuff that's been going on wrestling news wise. A little bit of stuff here and there that kind of caught my eye. Nothing really noteworthy to sink our teeth into for this week. Although congratulations are in order for Maya Lesnar, the daughter of Brock Lesnar, as she won the NCAA national title for shot put. So congratulations to her. I saw some of the footage that was running around, and boy, if she ever decides to get into wrestling, man, she gonna tear it up. That's all I gotta say. She is going to tear it up. And real quick, congratulations are in order for ECW alumni, WWE alumni, Hall of Famer, of course, Mr. Rob Van Dam, him and his beautiful woman, Katie Forbes. They are expecting a child. This will be RVD's first little bundle of joy coming into the world and all that. So that's what's up. Congratulations. I saw how they had revealed it and everything as they at first broke the news on their respective podcasts and all that, and that's just awesome. That seriously, that is awesome. And also, for you American Gladiator fans, it looks like Wardlow, Camille Brickhouse, Rick Boogs, Jesse Goddard, J-Rod. These guys have been named as gladiators in the new American Gladiators reboot. And if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be hosted by The Miz. So it's kind of interesting what we got going on here with this and everything. So kind of, and keep in mind, like for those of you like, well, wait a minute, Wardlow and Camille, well, they've been off AEW programming for a good number of months, man. So, it could be a case where they may be on their way officially out the door. Excuse me. Just have to wait and see. But they should be pretty good. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in these new roles. I know for Camille Brickhouse, Camille has been trying to do more and more work in the Hollywood industry. So I can't wait to see, I can't wait to see this. I'm very excited. I grew up on the original American Gladiators and everything. We're starting to have some weird, maybe it's just me, but hang on a second here, guys. Noticing some weird stuff going on here. Hang on. Yeah, that's weird. That's not loading up. Hang on here, guys. We might be having a little bit of a delay. Let me see here. Hopefully we're not. Oh, okay, no, we're actually good. But no, I grew up on the original American Gladiators, and I used to watch that show religiously. I never missed a damn episode. Never missed an episode, man. My favorite Gladiators. I loved me some Ice. I had the biggest crush on Ice. Ice could freaking do no wrong, man. Um, Zap was cool as well. I love me some Zap. Blaze. Blaze was good as well. Laser was cool as well. Man, that series that debuted around 1988, 1989, and it went for a nice little stretch. I mean, it went from like 89 until like 95, 96, give or take. And then I'm trying to think, why does it feel like they tried a reboot like some years later? I don't know why, but it feels like they tried to do something a handful of years later. I could be wrong. Um, I might have my shows mixed up because I remember there was something that they had did a couple of years ago, handful of years ago, and it had involved Muhammad Ali's daughter. Maybe I got my shows mixed up. I'll have to check that out when I get a free moment. But yeah, that Mike Adamle. Remember that? It was presented by Mike Adamle, the original American Gladiators. And Mike Adamle, he did so damn good on there. So damn good on there. You know, the other thing that I remember about American Gladiators was Joe Theismann, NFL Hall of Famer Joe Theismann, who still to this day calls Redskin games and all that. Joe Theismann, though, man, loved me some Joe Theismann, man. True story. Do you all know who created the theme song for American Gladiators? I'll give you a hint. He is the same guy behind one of the most beloved sports movie franchises of all time. That's the only hint that I'm going to give you. I'll leave you with that. So, be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the RCWR show. We got episodes for you all over the place. I really have been appreciating you guys these past couple of weeks. I was checking out the numbers for the web show versions, what the versions of the web shows. Numbers for that's been going up. Was also seeing what was going on with the audio feeds. Audio feeds been going up as well. So appreciate you guys that's been continuing to show the love. Look, you love what I do, appreciate what I do. You know, the best way you can pay it forward, hit the likes, share, retweet, follow me on the Twitter, show the YouTube channel love, hit that up, blow it up, like the videos, getting ready to clean your joint, or, you know, let's hit the playlist for the show and go do some stuff in the background. You know, really helps out with the watch time, all that good stuff. Gets more eyeballs on the content. Every little bit helps, I promise. Every little bit helps. By the way, I've been having a lot of fun with the foodie reviews. I got to sit down with the wifey. We're probably going to do it Tuesday night or maybe first thing Wednesday. But I've got like 4 snack foodie reviews that you guys are going to love. We're going to be sitting down and just bang those out back to back to back to back. I'm looking forward. Definitely stay connected to the social media pages, including YouTube, this weekend, because for the first time ever, I am being invited to participate in the want to pull this up real quick because I definitely want to mention this because it's definitely a huge honor to be doing this. And let me see if I can pull up the email real quick. Where's the email? Capital Emmys night. So it's this big old event that happens once a year in DC where the brightest, the best. It's where all the local news affiliate stations where they basically come together and like their producers, their cameramen, women, technical directors, producers, assistant producers, where everybody comes together and there is a celebration of some of their best work. That's like up for awards and everything. And so I am going to be working that event this weekend. I'll actually be in the social media department division, pumping out stuff all throughout the night. Part of that is going to involve filming stuff, recording stuff. So I'm, taking pictures, recording video footage and all that, and posting it on social media. So I'm looking forward to doing this. Y'all know me. That's been checking out the Awesome Con footage from over the years. I've been getting the itch to do a little. So to have this opportunity be presented to me, it's an honor. Not to mention, it's within my wheelhouse for the major I'm getting ready to embark on and everything. So love it, love it, love it. So stay connected. That's going to be happening Saturday. So I should be able, if you stay connected to me on social media, you'll be seeing all kinds of really cool stuff that I'll be sharing throughout the night. Yeah. And shout out to everybody that supports the show as always. And until next go round, my pretty babies, I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you all next go round. Adios, y'all, and take care.